Touchdown, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Oh, snap! We just, oh, snap! They better not let us come back! Oh, they ain't gonna like me up in here! Oh, woo! If we win this game, they gonna ban me from the state of California. If we win this game, it's gonna be bad. Oh snap! Not Cooper Cup! Not Cooper Cup! Fumble the ball! Yo, buddy right there sitting down. He is pissed. It was 28-3. Did it again. Got my hopes up.
Oh no! We suck again!
Ooh, welcome back, Finer Things Club owners. We have now wrapped up 2 full weeks in the 2022 NFL season, and man, I can't wait to break down some of these matchups, games, performances for this week. This league is so competitive. I love being a part of this league. We now have 2 full weeks underway for the NFL season, and only one team is 0-2. Everyone else is either 1-1 or 2-0, which speaks to the competitiveness and the quality of general managing and ownership of our fantasy teams. So without further ado, let's get right into this rundown.
Do you have a rundown that I could take a look at just so I know what type of rundown you're looking for?
Just keep it simple.
Keeping it simple, that's what I'm doing. But I am working hard on this one, real hard.
You're working hard on this?
No, not too hard, not harder than I should.
Right. I mean, why work harder than you should?
No,
All right, let's get into our Thursday night matchup. Number 10, Big Boobs on the road taking on the number 4 team. They call me Toby, and it was a close one. We have a victory for Jake's Big Boobs as he gets his first of the season, moving to 1-1 as he gets a 11-point victory over JT's They Call Me Toby. It was a good matchup with both quarterbacks balling out. Lamar Jackson for Jake's Big Boobs, 46 points, goes off in a close loss to the Miami Dolphins. His running backs, Austin Eckler and Tony Pollard, going for 18 and 20. His recently high-priced acquisition off the waiver wire receiver Curtis Samuel going off for almost 23 points, 7 catches, 78 yards, and a TD. T. Higgins comes back with 19 points. Devin Duvernay with 12. Alexander Madison and Jarvis Landry both only scoring 4 and 6 with a big goose egg from Albert O. On the other side, JT's They Call Me Toby, Jalen Hurts on a Monday night goes off for 35 points in a decisive win over the Vikings. Joe Mixon goes for 11. Devontae Adams and Leonard Fournette both only score 9 points. Josh Palmer of the Chargers goes for 13. Mark Andrews with a big day, 9 catches, 104 yards and a touchdown, 25 points for his tight end. Devonta Smith finally scores some points, puts up 15 this week. Michael Carter with 10, and his kicker Evan McPherson with a strong 13-point game. It's not quite enough as Robbie Anderson only with 3 points, and his big players Devontae Adams and Leonard Fournette both very much underwhelm, and gives him his first loss. Moving on to the 1 p.m. game, number 9, Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night going on the road to the number 8 team. DM does GB. And oh no, we have our first 0-2 team as Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night wallops Jordan Somehow I Manage, formerly known as DM Does GB, 164 to 128. Kyler Murray of Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night has a good game in 25 points. Aaron Jones goes off with a big 32-point game. Tyler Lockett puts up 19 points. Hollywood Brown puts up 12. Amari Cooper in his debut in Cleveland, puts up 25 points. Darren Waller with 17, and J-Rob of the Jacksonville Jaguars with 15 points. And his kicker, Tyler Bass, puts up 12. Paris Campbell puts up a goose egg, and Cordero Patterson only puts up 4, but it doesn't matter as he destroys Jordan's team. DM does GB, now somehow I manage, as Derek Carr scores 18, almost 19 points. Saquon with almost 12. Mike Williams has a big game on Thursday night, putting up 25 points. Cortland Sutton with 19. Gerald Everett with 13. Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry both score under 10, as Jordan's team really struggled with this week. He having Hunter Renfrow, James Conner, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry all score under double digits. And that is why he moves to 0-2 as we move to the 4 p.m. matchup. Number 7, Captain Bruisin' on the road at number 5, Uncle Creepy's, in a ridiculously close matchup. Might be one of the closest or the closest we have all season. We'll see, as my team, Captain Bruisin', gets a .66 margin of victory over Frank's team, Uncle Creepy's. And that is in large part due thanks to the Penguin himself, Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver, putting up 41 points on the day. Justin Herbert in a gutsy performance with 24 points. Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, both scoring only 9 and 8 points. Terry McLaurin scoring 12. Pat Freiermuth with 12. DJ Moore with 13. Deontay Johnson with 13. On to Frank's team, Uncle Creepy's. It really struggled in some areas. Trevor Lawrence had a decent game with 18 points, but Dalvin Cook struggling on Monday night with only 7. Nick Chubb had a huge game, 32 points against the Jets. CeeDee Lamb with 15. Deebo Samuel with 15. Dallas Goedert with 13. Antonio Gibson with 12. But Thielen, Brandon Cooks, and Dalvin Cook, the Cook and Cookses, disappoint this week, and that is why Frank takes a loss, moving to 1-1, and I also move to 1-1, and we also move to the Sunday night matchup, and that is the number 3 team, the Scranton Stranglers, Lance's team, going to the road to the number 2 team in the rankings this week, Bums from the Dock, and oh boy, Lance's team really struggles this week after a decisive win, and in the preseason ranked number 2 on the season, puts up only 104 points as he takes the loss against Kyler's Bums from the Dock, 140.94 to 104.96 in a 36 point victory for Kyler's Bums from the Dock. Kirk Cousins, and that's with Kirk Cousins only scoring 7 in the quarterback spot. A.J. Dillon scores only 7. Darrell Henderson puts up 10. Amon-Ra St. Brown putting up 41 points on the day to go along with Cooper Kupp's 14 targets, 108 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He did lose a really bad fumble, but scoring 30 on the day. Mike Evans puts up 10. Justin Jefferson only puts up 10. Miles Sanders puts up 11, and his kicker, Justin Tucker, puts up 10. A goose egg from his tight end, Cole Kmet. On Lance's side, Aaron Rodgers only puts up 16. CMC scores 17. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with 16.8. A.J. Brown with almost 12 points. Jerry Jeudy goes out with an injury, puts up only 1 catch for 11 yards and only 2 points. Donovan Peoples-Jones with 0 on 1 target on the day. Travis Kelce with 10. DeAndre Swift with 17. Dawson Knox with 8. And his kicker, Younghoe Koo, who missed a field goal on the day, puts up only 4 points. That's right, Lance has Jerry Jeudy, Peoples-Jones, Dawson Knox, and Koo all under double digits. And we move to the Monday night matchup, the illustrious Monday night matchup, as the number 6 team, Nate Hyde's Jans Cans, goes on the road to the number 1 team, Matt Washon's Prison Mike. And what do we have here? A side pot watch on Monday night, as Nate's team, looking to make a statement this season, puts up 192 points and smokes Prison Mike, who himself had a decent day, but it didn't matter, as Nate Jans Cans 192 victory over Prison Mike's team 148 in a big win. Let's talk about Nate's team. Patrick Mahomes puts up 19 points. Najee Harris puts up almost 14. Tyreek Hill, 11 catches, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, 46 points. But that's not to be outdone by his other receiver, Stephon Diggs, 12 catches, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns, and goes for 0.8 points more than Tyreek. That's right, 46.8 points on the day. Michael Thomas with another good game, 18.5 points. Allen Robinson finally looks to get in the mix for the Rams. He puts up 15 points on the day, and his kicker, Daniel Carlson, goes for double digits, goes for 13 points on the day. Everyone in Nate's lineup scored double digits except for Kareem Hunt, Dalton Schultz, and Allen Lazard, who both of those two guys almost put up 10 points. Dalton Schultz, an ugly 0.8 game. Doesn't matter as he crushes Prison Mike. Prison Mike in his own right has a good game. Matt's team, Josh Allen at quarterback, 32 points in a great game. Looks like Josh Allen's going to do this all season long. Jonathan Taylor with a very disappointing day, only 7.3 points. Chase Edmonds as well, only 5 points. Jamar Chase in a pretty disappointing matchup for Jamar Chase's standards, 10.8 points. Drake London does have a great game, puts up 24.6. Christian Kirk has another good game, 2 touchdowns on the day, 25.8 points. Zach Ertz, he gets good production from his tight end at 15.5 points. Breece Hall, the rookie, goes for 13 points. Sterling Shepard almost gets there to double digits with 9.4 points. Nate, congratulations. You were just shy of the side pot as you take a decisive victory, moving to 1-1 on the season, and Prison Mike also moves to 1-1, and that is your rundown. All right, well, like I said at the top of the recap, we have a competitive season, it looks like, ahead, as even the teams that the league counted out in the preseason rankings, that would be Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night and Jake's Big Boobs, who were scored at 9 and 10 for almost virtually every owner in the league, are now both 1-1. Jake gets a victory this week over JT, and Nathan Pierce gets a huge victory over Jordan's team, who is now the only 0-2 team in the season so far. It's a long season, 2 games in. We have 15 regular season games, so certainly not a time to panic. But congratulations to those two as they are looking to prove some people wrong. On the flip side of that, Lance putting up only 104 points this week after a great first week and high expectations on the season. He moves to 1-1. And as much as it may pain me and others to hear it, Kyler is the only 2-0 team on the season so far as the reigning champion looks to repeat. And is now the only undefeated team so far. Which is kind of crazy, right? We're only 2 weeks into the season, and we only have one team who has not lost yet, which I think is a good thing. You know, we have real parity. We have real competitive owners, and I'm excited to see how this season plays out. I have to stop and talk a little bit about Nate Hyde's Jan's Cans, as we were on Side Pot Watch last night as Stephon Diggs was losing his mind on Monday Night Football, scoring 3 touchdowns and 148 yards, putting Jan's Cans 3 points away from the side pot. And since they were just blowing out the Titans, they wisely decided to sit him for the rest of the game, giving Nate no chance to hit the 195. He was the only owner, the only team Jan's Cans was to have the max points for over the side pot number. 214 was the max points for Jan's Cans, as he looks really good this season. I hate to say it, I really do, but he is 1-1 with some real momentum on his side. But it is a long season, and as much as it matters for those who are struggling, it also matters to those who are doing well to keep the foot on the gas pedal, make the right moves, have the right depth to sustain the long season. And with that said, let's get into these power rankings, shall we?
Don't slip up or get cut.
Why not, man?
I'm coming for that number 1 spot.
All right.
Rappers swearing they on top. But I'm coming for that number 1
All right, let's
spot.
get into these power rankings, shall we? first week, I would say, of the real power rankings. We had to do them for the TV schedule, of course. But now we have some more data to come in, and the first spot, it shouldn't surprise anybody, as Kyler's bums from the dock, the only 2-0 team on the season. He is the number 1 spot in the power rankings, over the number 2 team, and that is right. The number 2 team right now in the power rankings is Nate Hyde's Jans Cans with a 1-1 record. Barely, and I mean barely, edging out Prison Mike, Matt Washon's team, in the number 3 spot. Followed by me, Captain Bruisin, at the number 4 spot. And then Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night in the number 5 spot, edging out Lance Batiste's Scranton Stranglers for the number 6 spot. Frank's team, Uncle Creepies, in the number 7 spot. It's almost interchangeable how close Uncle Creepies and JT's They Call Me Toby is for the number 8 spot. So 7 and 8 are almost tied. As the number 9 team comes in, that's Jake's Big Boobs at 1-1 as well. And the only 0-2 team, Jordan's Somehow I Manage, in the number 10 spot. So to summarize it once more, Jordan, Somehow I Manage. Number 10, Jake's Big Boobs. Number 9, JT's They Call Me Toby at number 8. Frank's team, Uncle Creepies, at number 7. Scranton Stranglers, Lance's team, number 6. Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night, number 5. My team, JB's team, Captain Bruisin, number 4. Matt Washon's Prison Mike at number 3. Nate Hyde's team, Jan's Cans, at number 2. And in the number 1 spot, Kyler's Bums from the dock.
There's Paul Johnson right there. Ruined our program, and that's all right. He's still here.
All right, Ruin the Program award this week definitely has a for sure owner, as Frank's team, Uncle Creepies, loses by 0.66 of a point. So definitely some worthy candidates of this award this week, but it will stay on Frank's team, Team Uncle Creepies. There's some good candidates. The 2 that I ultimately narrowed it down to were Dalvin Cook with 7 points, and then we have Brandon Cooks with only 9 points. But definitely, to me, the worthy choice, Mr. Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings, projected to score 17.73 points. Puts up only 7.6 on Monday night. Only carries the ball 6 times for 17 yards and 4 catches for 19 yards. He's held to under 40 total scrimmage yards on the game. Very un-Dalvin Cook-like. So you, sir, have ruined the program. Sorry, Dalvin, and sorry about it, Frank, but not really.
I find it offensive. Au natural, baby. That's how I like 'em. Swing low, sweet chariots.
So, there are a lot of things I would like to do differently.
Yeah.
I feel like when we first got together that I had a problem with my priorities.
First got priorities.
And if we could talk about a way to approach a possible reconciliation.
Let's get back together.
No. I'll tell you this, it is not because of the boob job. Excuse me, boob enhancement. That would be shallow. And this is the opposite of shallow. This is emotionally magnificent.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
All right. As you heard and as you saw in the chat thread, in the Facebook Messenger thread last night, we have a high-scoring team this week who almost hit the side pot, put up 192.3 points on the week. That is Mr. Nate Hyde's Jans Cans, everyone. Scored 45 points in a single week last season, finishing the year 2-13. Has something to prove, and in week 2, blows out his opponent, puts up 192 points on the week. His 2 starting receivers, Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, put up a total of almost 93 combined points in just the two players. That's 12 less points than Lance's team put up all week this past week. That's not a shot at Lance, as Lance did score over 100 points. That's just more of a testament to the two receivers that carried Nate this week. Unbelievable week. Congrats, Mr. Nate Hyde, Jans Cans. You are the high-scoring team of the week. Let's move on to the top-scoring players in each position this week. Lamar Jackson in the number one spot at the quarterback position, 46.6 points. That's Mr. Jake's Big Boobs' quarterback in the number two spot, the opposing quarterback of that same game, wild shootout of a game. Number two scoring quarterback on the week, Mr. Lance's Scranton Stranglers quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, with 44.9 points, just barely being edged out by Lamar Jackson. And the number three scoring quarterback, that is JT's, they call me Toby's quarterback, Mr. Jalen Hurts, with 35 points on the week. Moving to running back, Nick Chubbs, Frank's team and Uncle Creepy's running back, with 32.3 points on the week. Number two is Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night running back, Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers, getting beat for that number one spot by only 0.3 points. And Tony Pollard, the newly acquired running back for Jake's Big Boobs, puts up 20.8 points. Look at the big brain on Jake. Picks up Tony Pollard on the week, puts him in the lineup, scores 20.8, number three scoring running back on the week. Moving to wide receiver, Stephon Diggs barely edges out Tyreek Hill because he goes nuts in the Monday night game with 46.8 points. That's Nate's Jans Cans receiver, followed by Tyreek Hill, another Jans Cans receiver with 46 points. And Kyler's bums from the dock, Amon-Ra St. Brown, his new toy at the wide receiver position from a trade earlier this season, 41.4 points, barely edging out the next scoring receiver. On to tight end. We have Mark Andrews, 25.7 points, the leading scoring tight end. JT's, they call me Toby's tight end. Number two is Nathan Pierce's Knights of the Night tight end, Darren Waller, at 17 points. And then third is Matt Washon's Prison Mike tight end, Zach Ertz, in the number three scoring tight end spot at 15.5 points. On to kicker. We almost had a week where the top three spots were all owned by the owners in our league, but not so, because Graham Gano, the number one scoring kicker on the week, New York Giants, 17 points on the week, followed by Evan McPherson's 13 points. JT's, they call me Toby, with 13 points, his kicker. And then the number three kicker, Daniel Carlson, Nate Hyde's Jans Cans, with 13 points as well. Hope you guys have a great week. Again, it is a long season. A lot of things can happen between now and then, so not a time to panic, but you should start being able to see maybe where some holes in your lineup may be, some strengths, some weaknesses, but it may even also be a little too early to tell. But congrats to those who picked up wins this week. Like I said, everybody is 1-1 except two teams. That was Kyler's Buns from the Dock at 2-0, and Jordan's Somehow I Manage at 0-2. Have a great rest of the week, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
Where'd you get that matching Benz with them windows tinted? Who them girls you be with when you be riding through? Man, I ain't got nothing to prove. I paid my dues, breaking the rules and shake fools while I'm taking the cruise. Tell me who.
What do you think having a 37-year-old?
We're on to Cincinnati. It's nothing about the past, nothing about the future. Right now we're preparing for Cincinnati.